Welcome to Ren TV News, centered on Africa. And today we want to talk about the First Lady of Sierra Leone, Fatima Matabio, sat down. Let me see what platform she sat down with. I think she sat down with Harvard to talk about. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Let me stop all the formality. Doesn't matter what she sat down to talk to them about. It's like this, bro. I'm tired of all the formalities that all these politicians kind of do. What's the point of this interview? Talking about what empowering women. Like she's a black woman from Africa, first lady of an African country, third world country, I'm sure. Why would somebody from Harvard want to sit down with her and talk about empowering women, specifically black women, when Harvard is in America? What about empowering the black women in America? So they don't really care about that. Let's keep it real. So why would they even care about you empowering black women in Africa? That's already a red flag. Two, I saw a glimpse of the interview, and she's talking about how most of the resources in Sierra Leone are controlled by, not even most, every resource in Sierra Leone for the most part is controlled by an outsider or foreign company. Why are you doing this interview? Why are you sitting down talking to somebody at Harvard, a European American at that? Bro, they don't care about that stuff, bro. This is just for media take. This is just a nice clip to pass around to make it look like, oh, we're actually discussing stuff that actually matters. Look, we're talking about empowering women. That's the topic that's going crazy right now. It's gonna get a lot of clicks. That's all this is about, bro. This is not gonna impact anything. This is not gonna do anything for anybody, bro. Let's keep it real. It's not gonna do anything for anybody, bro. It's not gonna do anything for anybody, bro. You think you think they don't know that? You think they don't know that most, like, all the resources in all these African countries, especially these third world countries, are controlled by um foreigners, specifically Europeans or European Americans? They know that. What's talking to this guy gonna do, bro? What's talking to this guy gonna do? It's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna do nothing. As far as empowering women, Africa already had its first woman president 20 years ago, bro. 20 years. A lot of people don't even know that. Africa already had its first woman president 20 years ago in Liberia. And if you look at the Liberian flag, it looks exactly like the American flag. The only difference is it has one star instead of the amount of stars the American flag has. And a lot of the people in Liberia are ex-slaves, freed slaves who went back to who came from America and went back to Africa. So a bunch of freed slaves that went from America went back to Africa, had their first women president 20 years ago. What is this guy at Harvard talking about women empowerment? Do they teach about that lady in America? No. Does he care about that lady in America? No. Does that lady matter to him in America? No. Did he talk about that? No. Did he? And Sierra Leone and Liberia, they're right next door to each other. When the civil war was going on in one country, was going on in the other. All the people that were fighting in one were fighting in the other country. They had a woman president 20 years ago. America just had Kamala as a vice president. What is he talking about women empowerment for? What is he talking about? And why are you sitting down talking to him about? It's like a lot of these African countries and so-called African leaders always want to come sit down and talk to Europeans or European Americans about what is going wrong and Africa. Bro, they're the ones doing all of that stuff, especially when it comes to resources. They're the ones doing that. They already know all this stuff, bro. Especially so-called, if you're in Harvard, if you're talking to her and you don't know what's going on, it's kind of crazy. It's all hypocritical, bro. I'm not saying the average Caucasian or the average European or the average European American knows what's going on. I'm not saying the average one does. I'm just saying the people you're sitting down talking to, they know. And the people who could actually impact all these things, they already know. And they're gonna specifically continue to do that. You talking is not gonna do anything. You coming to sit down and talking to them is not gonna do anything, bro. It's not gonna do anything. It's just for TV, it's just for cameras. Maybe she's building a portfolio, I guess. But this doesn't do anything. This doesn't impact anybody. Doesn't do anything. The people who could actually change these things already know this stuff. The guy who's interviewing you, what kind of power does he have? Who is he? Nobody knows him. He's a nobody, bro. What can he do? You think people are gonna listen to him when he talks? No, the people who actually can impact these things and make decisions that's actually gonna, if they're gonna do that, which they're not gonna do that, because that's just not how it works. They live off of these resources. It's mandatory for them to survive in their countries to live off these resources. You think you're just gonna come do an interview as a so-called black woman in Harvard in America, and they're just gonna be like, you know what? She came and did the interview, y'all. We heard what she said. We're gonna stop taking their resources because she came and sat down with some nobody from Harvard to say whatever she had to say. No, bro. It was the interview was totally unnecessary. Again, if you're building a portfolio, if she's building a portfolio, I get it. That's great. But that interview was unnecessary. It doesn't do anything for nobody, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. It doesn't do anything for nobody. Zero, zilch, nothing, bro. Nothing, bro. Nobody's gonna see that. Like the people who actually control these things and make these decisions are not gonna see that and think, oh man, she came and said that. Oh my God. You know what, guys? We're gonna stop. We're not gonna do it no more. We saw that interview and oh my God. That was it. That's what we needed to hear. No, they depend on these resources. Their system, they've made that a part of their system to get these resources at the price they get them, at the expense they get them. It's instilled in that. So that's not you getting results. But it's kind of sad to me. I hate seeing these interviews of these so-called African leaders sitting down and talking to these people like that's what's gonna change something. That's what's gonna do something. It's like, no, bro, that's not how it works, bro. That's not how it works. You've been doing that for years, decades, bro. It doesn't work like that. It just looks sad. It's just like it almost seems like you begging them, please stop taking our resources. Bro, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. If you want your resources, bro, kick them out of your country. It's simple, bro. It's not rocket science. Kick them out of your country, bro. Yeah, they're gonna try to kill you, of course. Of course they're gonna try to kill you for that. But if you really want your resources, kick them out of your country. It's your country, bro. It's your land, it's your country. Kick them out. Kick them out. Terminate all the contracts and just kick them out. You can't be here. Kick them out. And then stand on that. And they're gonna try to kill you and go to war with you and destabilize your country. Then you could figure out what you want to do. But as far as sitting down talking to them, it just seems so sad. Like it's almost like they're begging, like, please stop taking our resources. We're suffering, we're dying. Our kids, our women, everybody. They don't give a damn. They could keep dying, bro.